What up, what up, what up? It's your favorite shit talking squirrel, back for another YouTube video. So we're gonna be doing part 2 of Jeremy Schuh Electric Boogaloo today. If you're watching this and don't know who Jeremy Schuh is, I highly recommend you click the link in the description to watch part 1, as this is the second part of an ongoing series. Before we jump in, I wanted to announce that starting today, I'm going to be uploading all of the art I've made for the channel that I didn't use over on Instagram. I'm going to start posting it there daily. It will all be art I've made personally, admittedly using programs to assist, I'm not going to lie, but it's all my artwork. I own it. I worked really hard on it, Photoshop and whatever. It's just for whatever reason, the project changed, or I made multiple versions of the same piece, or whatever. They were burning a hole in my laptop, and a lot of it I'm really proud of, so I figured that would be a good place to showcase it. Please follow me over there if that's something that might interest you. I could really use an audience over there, and it would really mean a lot to support me. If you're interested in this format of video, you can come on to Patreon and join the Squirrel Gang, in which case you can do a Case Watch video just like this. It's just like what you see in this video. All you need to is join over there on Patreon. You'll also get a Squirrel Gang sticker right when you sign up. It's only $10 a month. I think it's a pretty good deal. You and me can hop on Discord or whatever and just watch a hearing or whatever video platform you have. I can capture the footage, and I'll put it on the channel whenever you want and whatever you want. If you want to watch Brooks, or you want to watch, you found a hearing that you think I'd like, and I'll put it on Case Watch. That would be a lot of fun. So again, that's available to you as well if you want to join Squirrel Gang. I'll put another link to that in the description. The merch shop is also open on mobile now. If you like any of my Squirrel Gang products, you can just scroll down there, all down below. I released a new line for the spring. You can go check those out. If you're on laptop, that link will also be in the description. So, with all that out of the way, all the YouTube stuff, we won't delay any further. We will continue with Jeremy Schuh. So without further ado, let's get this. This is like a clinical, like they could show this to judges in training or what, you know what I'm trying to say? Like somebody who wants to be a judge, how to handle what do they say, lachesis litigants? Because he literally goes from wanting to sue the court and wanting to discharging his attorney to just completely going with the flow in like 30 seconds. Like how Simpson is able to do this, it's like he's speaking another language or something. Like another judge in a similar situation probably would have been like, you want to defend yourself? You want to hang yourself? Have at it. I fucking hate you. and you want to sue the court? Good luck with that one, buddy. But, like, he gets him on the right track here.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it, but it's an invaluable talent.
Yeah.
I have a $10,000.
Especially for the people that probably come through his courtroom, which is, like, probably mainly people like this, like, that are down on their luck. This is, like, one of the worst days of their life, and they, like, aren't thinking clearly, because it's, like, for some of them, their life is on the line, so it's, like, they're so emotional, they're not even making sense.
Your life is not on the line. Mine is. And you think I think this is funny?
It's not a game. I don't treat this as a joke or a game.
Bond on a domestic.
Okay. All right.
On a first domestic, mind you,
I have a
misdemeanor.
feeling, Jeremy, that's probably
70.
not the only. I have a feeling that's probably not the only thing you said, because to the extent you could sue her, she's got insurance. So I don't think that would have worked here. I think there was something else, but that's okay. When do you have a hearing coming up on? I know you're dealing with the other matter, the stuff over with Judge Freshour. I'm just trying to time everything out. Is there a hearing set?
I have a hearing on the 8th in front of Judge Conklin. I don't know. I've seen him once for first. Yes, sir.
Okay.
8th and the 9th is my two next court dates.
8th and the 9th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is the case, okay, folks, let me ask you this. Is the case out of 14A4 related to this case?
Yes, sir, directly.
No, Joey.
And it's up for final settlement conference on the 9th.
What time on the 9th?
One moment.
Is it in the afternoon?
One moment, Your Honor. That is in the afternoon before Judge Freshour at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. All right, let's do this then. Once a preliminary examination via Zoom, we'll set it for August 9th, 2022, 9 a.m. And that will be before Judge Berg.
Your Honor, I do have a bond request as well, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Armstrong made me aware that he's been calling the victim's phone number. Although the victim's phone number was blocked from his account, he is reaching her by calling a man named Jeff, who was their roommate or would still be their roommate if Mr. Schuh was out. There was 2 jail calls, one on June 23rd, one on June 27th, before and after the arraignment. 22 calls to the victim's number between June 1st and June 27th. And then on June 29th, the defendant called and spoke to the roommate, Jeff, and spoke with the victim twice. This is likely going to be a witness tampering case. Mr. Collins.
Oh my
has
God,
requested
he's
a jail
still
pause.
doing it.
He has 2 of them so far, and Ms. Armstrong has contacted the officer in charge to get the rest uploaded to evidence.com.
Yeah, more
So even though
charges
the victim's
incoming.
number was blocked, he's still calling her in different measures. So we would ask for no use of phones except to contact his attorney.
All right. I'm looking through some communications that I received. I thought.
Your Honor, may I speak?
That, well, hold on, Mr. Schuh. I just want to answer this. I thought that in the matter before Judge Freshour, at least as I'm reading this, that his phone privileges were revoked at that
Completely.
point. That's what my understanding was.
So he has, my understanding from Ms. Armstrong, this is her matter, is that it was just the victim's number was blocked. So I was not aware that he had no use of phones.
No,
at all.
I'm being treated like I'm a prisoner in get mode.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Schuh,
Okay, I'm sorry.
stop.
It's a
Shuts it down.
wild accusation.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm.
Oh yeah,
I'll
wait,
just
that's a
indicate
good
what I
point too.
have here.
Pause, please.
I have a communication. I don't have any of the orders.
Sorry.
Nawson, can you?
Yeah.
No, you're good. He says he's getting treated like a prisoner. He is a prisoner.
Yeah, you're
What does
in
he-
jail. If
does
you're not
he mean?
shitting in a bucket, you're fine. You have a toilet, you have a bed, and you're getting food. You have somewhere to sleep. Man, shut the fuck up. You're luckier than a lot of people that are free, dumbass.
Yeah.
But I have from,
See,
oh, Mr. Schuh.
Vexatious. That's the word I was
Let me
looking
finish.
for.
Let me finish.
I thought you might have meant
That
litigious.
they received an order from.
I think I was
Judge
mixing the
Freshour
two.
Revoking Jeremy Schuh's phone privilege.
That covers that. Thank you.
And that's the communication. I received that from Sergeant Arnett. That was sent to Laura Wilbring on July 5th.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what I have here. So,
I've noted it in this file. Thank you.
okay, and I don't know that I need it to do anything else. Mr. Schuh, was there anything else you wanted to say? I think we
Yes, sir.
resolved it, but
The only
go
thing
ahead.
the only thing I would like to say, sir, is their alleged victim is my current fiance, which I am being prevented from marrying all over an argument. The victim, their alleged victim has never once called and said I've threatened her, I intimidated her.
Bitch, that's your
Okay.
fault.
Only on,
All right.
only
Oh,
Yeah,
thing-
no shit.
Jeremy, I'm not here to try the case. Okay?
No, I completely understand. I just wanted to say.
Then shut up.
One last thing, and I'm sorry, sir.
Go
Set them
ahead.
straight again.
The last thing that I wanted to say,
Rubbing
sir,
his
and again, I
eyes.
apologize.
Oh God.
The victim on the phone calls, their alleged victim.
Sure, I wouldn't talk about this.
Has stated
Okay.
numerous times. that she loves me.
Jeremy,
I'm done.
Jeremy, hold on. I'm gonna stop you because now you're starting to talk about factual circumstances involving the case, and I don't
Okay.
want you to
Just
do
can't
that,
help himself.
okay?
Okay, I apologize,
You
sir.
know I'd hear what you have to say, but I'm not gonna, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just make bad decisions.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
So it's set for this Tuesday before Judge Burke, 9 a.m. via Zoom. His bond will continue as set. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir. God bless you.
You do the same, Mr. Schuh.
Are the parties ready on People versus Schuh?
Your Honor, I know that Mr. Schuh is going to have some commentary. May we approach?
He just noticed the hair thing.
I would
Squishy.
rather we do everything on the record with Mr. Schuh.
That would probably be advisable. I agree. Thank you, Your Honor.
Shall I call that matter, Mr. Collis?
Certainly, Your Honor.
Thank you. State of Michigan versus Jeremy Daniel Schuh, case number 22F1, 970.
Connor Armstrong, Assistant Prosecutor on behalf of the people.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stuart Collis on behalf of Mr. Schuh.
Good morning, and I see that Mr. Schuh is present by video conference, apparently at the Washtenaw County Jail. Today is the day that is scheduled for preliminary examination. How do you wish to proceed, Mr. Collis?
Your Honor, my understanding is my client wishes to go to preliminary exam today. However, my client also believes that he wants to either represent himself or with me as standby counsel, or wishes to relieve himself from my services. I'm not entirely clear which after discussing this matter with him yesterday. However, those are that's where we stand at this moment.
Thank you. I need to disclose to the parties that I am, while not personally acquainted with Mr. Schuh, I am acquainted with him as I was sued by him some years ago when I worked for the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office. I was named as a defendant in a federal suit that was handled. not by
Oh,
me,
wow.
or actually, it might have been handled.
Not a good look.
I guess
Not
that
a
was
good
one
look.
of
Not a
I
good
did some
look.
litigation on. So
That's a bad
I
sign.
disclose that
He's
to the
nodding.
parties in the event that Mr. Schuh.
What
seeks
is
to
that
have
fucking
a
hair?
different judge
Yeah, I know,
in
it's so
this
ridiculous.
case
Nawson,
than
can you
our
pause, please?
past,
I would not want to sit in front of a judge that I sued. God, this guy
God.
just like is ruining his life every day.
He has no shame at all.
Yeah, really.
All he would have to do would be like to actually follow the original parameters that they set for him, like the original expectations. If he were let out, wouldn't he just have to follow those for just like a finite amount of time and then all of this would go away? If he would just
Yeah.
stop.
Honestly, it was probably 30 days is how sad this is.
What a dumbass. God. Idiot. And isn't it like COVID times right now? If he would just stop arguing, they would throw an ankle monitor on him and he would be at home.
Yeah, they more than, and trust me, this dude is probably not pleasant in the jail. Like he has high maintenance written all. I mean, he's in a wheelchair for one, but imagine how difficult just like feeding this guy is. And oh, time for bed. Fuck you! It's time for bed. I'm not going to fucking bed. You're violating my civil rights. Oh God, I can hear it.
He's just not smart. Entitled and
Yeah.
stupid. It's just not a good combination.
Like Judge Simpson said, he just makes bad decisions.
relationship, Mr. Schuh.
Yes, I actually was going to disclose that, and you did, sir. There's no disrespect towards the court. You did represent that matter, and it was Washtenaw County versus, or it was Schuh versus Pollard is what it was.
Certainly. So the
I thought
question
he was about to
is,
say that, oh, there's
based
no
upon
bad
that,
blood. Like, we ain't got no
um,
beef, bro. I'm cool with
are
you.
you asking me to disqualify myself as the judge in this matter, or are you consenting to have
Please,
me act as the
please
judge in this
do,
matter?
is what he's saying.
I would actually ask, this matter has been going on. My 14-day rule has been
No,
violated.
you dumbass.
There's been a
My
couple other
14-day rule?
discrepancies
Is
in
that
the
like a
matter.
personal thing?
The magistrate
What is that?
that signed
I've
the
never heard of
warrant
it.
heard me on the
What are you
case.
Are you trial
And
software?
I'm going to interrupt you. I often say I hate to interrupt you, but I
understand.
actually am interrupting you, so I can't say that I hate. There's a threshold question that we have to
Yes.
get, because if you're asking me to determine something, I don't want to be doing that if you're seeking to have me disqualified because of our past adversarial relationship.
As long as it's not adjourned for much longer.
Well, I
other than-
think
What's he looking at?
what I would do is, if you're asking to have me disqualified, is I would walk this file over to Judge Simpson.
Yes,
who
if you can do
Yes,
that, I would really
yes.
appreciate that, sir. I'm sorry. There's no disrespect towards you. I have no ill feelings towards you.
Thank you. If we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to see if, in fact, Judge Simpson can take this matter. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. God bless you.
No, this guy is the most insincere fuck trumpet.
Fuck trumpet.
This guy is absolute fucking clown shoes.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Look at you, your fucking wheelchair. You can walk perfectly. Stupid ass. You can hide in the bushes. You can walk.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Well, he may be disabled. He may have gotten his ass beat, and I'm certainly not here trying to be ableist or anything. Certainly, if he has a medical
Thank you. We'll go
condition
back
that
on the
limits his
record,
mobility.
people, versus Schuh. That
I'm not
matter
trying to be a
has been
dickhead.
transferred this morning to Judge Simpson. So it's Miss Kirby, is it, and Mr. Collis, or was it Miss Armstrong and Mr. Collis?
Armstrong.
Yep, Miss Armstrong.
So
His
I'm
face is
sorry,
so
but the two of
punchable.
you will have to go to Judge
Him and Daryl have
Simpson's
that in common. They
courtroom
both
to
have
handle this
punchable
matter
face.
when everything's available. And Mr. Schuh, you'll have to let the corrections officers know.
He's sitting right here, sir. He can hear you.
To the extent it was not clear, let me make a record that the reason that I'm granting the motion to disqualify myself is that I believe it was not just once, but twice, Mr. Schuh sued numerous members of the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, that was a
I was
Freudian
among
slip.
them. In my role then as chief assistant, one of my duties was to represent the office in federal civil court proceedings such as that one. I did do that, and I believe Mr. Schuh was representing himself, so our correspondences were actually direct between Mr. Schuh and myself. Ultimately, the federal court granted our motion for summary judgment and dismissed the prosecutors from that matter. I don't know what happened with the other defendants. There were numerous judges and police officers and other officials who had been sued. In any event, based upon my adversarial position with Mr. Schuh, I believe it would be appropriate for me to disqualify myself. Judge Simpson has agreed to take the case this morning. So the court recorder will, if you don't have it, the court recorder will text you the Zoom information so that you can log into Judge Simpson's courtroom when the time's appropriate. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Like I said, I have no ill feelings towards the court. I appreciate everything. Thank you. God bless you.
That's not how I recall our litigation, but that's okay.
No problem, sir.
Thank you.
Oh God, that's so fucking awkward.
Hold on one moment on the McGee matter. Let me see what we're doing. I got Mr. Schuh. You ready? They're ready. Okay, let me call that. Let's see what we got. Court does call the case, People State of Michigan versus Jeremy Schuh.
Laura Armstrong, Assistant Prosecutor on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stuart Collis on behalf of Mr. Schuh.
This is the date and time set for preliminary examination. Are everybody ready to proceed on this?
Not entirely, Your Honor. My client wishes either to proceed without me or as standby counsel. So I think that issue needs to be addressed first.
That eye roll.
Really, Jeremy?
Actually, Mr. Collins has done a few things that I don't necessarily agree with. I'll say this, I'll proceed with the utmost integrity and respect for the court.
Bitch,
I
you don't
believe that
have
I'm
any.
more prepared to proceed than Mr. Collins is.
What?
Have you gotten all of the information that Mr. Collis has?
Yes, I have.
Pause for a sec, Nawson.
Very few phone.
So our friend Sprinklecake shared in the group chat this man's criminal record. I'm gonna put a link to this in the description.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Holy fuck! Home invasions, B&E, financial tampering, home invasion, larceny,
Identity theft.
He stole a vehicle. This is insane.
Yeah.
Identity theft, unlawfully driving away in a vehicle, B&E, weapons charges, B&E. This dude is a career criminal. This is insane.
His most recent discharge was December of 2022.
Wow.
Less than 6 months ago. What an asshole.
He is a thief, like a crazy thief. I mean, I get he's like into drugs, but this is a very bad man. This is way worse than I thought it was. Like him playing the whole, this is my first domestic violence charge. Sir, you are not new to this process. He has been in jail a shitload.
In prison.
Yeah. 11 sentences that he went to jail for and 17 sentences where he had probation.
Yeah.
Wow. How is he not, he should be away like longer. I mean, like, isn't there frequent offense inhibitors that like make your sentences longer, like the more you commit felonies, I thought? I'm surprised he's free at all.
I couldn't tell. I don't know for Michigan, but it almost makes you think that he's like he's a great candidate for the 3 strikes.
Yeah, so 3 strikes. He should be like away.
You'd think after this much time he'd realize he's not a very good thief.
There's over 5 charges for breaking and entering.
Yeah, he's not a very good
that's true too. Yeah.
He's not a very good burglar.
These are just the ones he got caught for.
Yeah. He's not a very good thief either. He's not a good burglar and he's not a good thief. You're just not very good at doing crime. Do something else. Yeah. You're a very passionate person. I mean, maybe go be a party clown with that hair. You wouldn't even need a wig, my dude.
Very passionate about breaking the law.
Yeah.
Or he could be like a door-to-door toothpaste salesman with that hair.
Mr. Swirly. It does look like the Crest logo, the little swoop.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Good call on Nawson.
He does kind of have that little DQ swirl on top of his head, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like it's ready to go into a toothbrush.
It does, yeah. Wow. It looks like the poop emoji. His hair looks like the poop emoji.
He looks like Casper.
I just want to punch him. That's how I found his this link to all of his record. Because I said he had a punchable face, and I was like, I wonder if I can find a picture of his face so I can Photoshop him to look stupider than he already looks.
Nelson, you're saying he looks like Casper. When this man becomes a ghost, I guarantee you he will not be friendly. He will not be Schuh the friendly ghost. It's Schuh the obnoxious ghost.
He does look like Casper. I had to Google the Casper's face, and I forgot he does have that fucking swirl.
He's gonna like be trying to sue the court from the afterlife. It's Jeremy Schuh, the litigious ghost. Oh, I just said it wrong again. Vexatious, the vexatious ghost.
Both are correct. Both are correct.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Call, he played a phone call for me. And I guess other than that, that's really the only thing that I've got. He allowed my probation.
Hold on.
It's
Jeremy.
Simpson's face.
Mr. Collis, does he have copies of everything? If he's gonna
Yes.
proceed on his own?
Your Honor, he had copies of everything before I was appointed. I had given it to him again. I started
Look how
playing
excited he
phone
is. He's like,
calls for
"Yes,
him at
dismiss
his
me."
request, and he cut me off yesterday. Refused to listen to anything more. Told me that his constitutional right to talk to his fiance was being violated. I explained that there's a constitutional right to marriage, but that of course that he does not have a right to talk to his fiance necessarily. I also explained to him that he had no contact
Judge
order,
Simpson's face.
and that was an issue. He refused to listen to me about that, and then basically hung up the phone at me at the jail and let me go.
Wow.
Ugh. Whoa, dude. What an asshole.
How
So,
he
Mr.
treats his own
Schuh,
attorney.
how are you, if I let you proceed on your own?
The
how
one
are you
person in the
gonna
world trying to
proceed
help this
today?
guy treats him like shit. Like, this is how he treats people on his side. We know how he treats people he doesn't like. But Jesus. I mean, again, it's indicative of him being a terror to his girlfriend. If he's talking to his own attorney this way, excuse me, his own attorney this way, imagine how he's talking to that girlfriend behind closed doors.
Yeah. If he doesn't have respect for people in authority that are holding his future in their hands.
And his freedom in his hands. What the hell does he care about somebody who probably he considers like under his thumb?
Right.
What a dipshit.
Yeah.
That's like that scene in remember at the end of Idiocracy? Are you guys sure you want to live in a world where you try to kill the one guy that's trying to help you?
You haven't listened to everything.
Basically, I did.
Jeremy.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Seems like every time I'm before you, you're before me. I have to remind you, how long have we been dealing with each other? Almost 2 decades.
Yes, sir.
They're old friends.
And the one thing about me is when you start doing stupid things, I'll just say call them that for lack of a better term. I tell you that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know I'll be that honest with you.
I appreciate that candidness.
No, the fuck you
You're being
don't.
stupid.
All right,
You're
well,
going
Mr.
to go,
Collis.
just listen. You're about to go in. You want to go into a preliminary examination. Whatever happened with you and Mr. Collis on the phone, you haven't heard.
Oh my God, the weepy voice killer.
How are you going to represent yourself?
You're correct, sir.
I know.
Can you pause, please? Did we lose him?
I'll forego.
I think we lost Nawson.
I'll agree
Oh,
to
did
let
we?
Mr. Collis proceed.
No, wait.
Probably not.
But
What?
you have okay.
Can you pause, please?
I appreciate it.
Have you heard those phone calls? Don't talk, just listen.
Just listen. Yeah, the weepy voice killer. Classic.
So fucking funny.
That guy's such an asshole.
I couldn't stop myself. I had to kill her.
Yeah.
You have to stop me. I'll never.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, I don't know what made me think of that. I need to do a video on him. Oh, the weepy.
There are certain things from true crime that I will say out loud. Like, I don't agree to an estoppel. But don't talk, just listen is one that if I hear somebody say, like, don't interrupt me or don't talk, I will also say, don't talk, just listen.
Don't talk, just listen. All right.
That, Jeremy, and I think that now you're using your brain, okay? But now the problem is when Mr. Collis tried to talk to you, you cut him off. And so therefore, you can't, I'm sure Mr. Collis knows how to proceed with it, but there may be something you might be able to share regarding one of the calls or some piece of the evidence. I'm not presuming anything exists necessarily. That now it isn't there. So you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. If you would agree to let us have a breakout room, maybe that would resolve it.
Your Honor, and I hate to interrupt, but I also want to make sure that everything's on the record. That the defendant does have another matter at district court today. It's the underlying domestic violence case that had the no contact order that prompted this one. It's set for final settlement conference this afternoon. We did make an offer for defendant to plead to that misdemeanor domestic violence, and then we would dismiss this witness interfering case. So I just want to make sure if that is being rejected, it's on the record and clear.
I didn't do neither one of them, so yes, it's completely.
Okay. Whoa. See, Jeremy, there you go.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so my understanding then, Mr. Collis, is that was communicated to Mr. Schuh. Have you guys had a chance to talk about that at all?
Yes,
Or was that part of the conversation and just?
we talked about it in the very first thing that I brought to Mr. Schuh's attention last night. Mr. Schuh rejected it as he did today without conversation, and that's where we are.
Okay. So that matter, the underlying case is going to proceed to trial. The one that's before Judge Fresher.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Collis, are you representing him on that case?
Yes, I was appointed to him on that case as well.
Okay.
I assume that the issues at the afternoon are going to be identical as they are here, whether Mr. Schuh wants my services or not.
Okay. No, that's not my case.
I understand. That's Judge Fresher.
So I don't know, Jeremy, that you're going to be able to try to get, I mean, you got a lot of stuff kind of going on here. You got that final settlement conference this afternoon. You haven't really talked about this particular matter. You just made certain assumptions. And Ms. Armstrong, how many witnesses is it just, I won't say just the deputy, but the deputy is the witness that you have in this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What I'm inclined to do is to adjourn this out to my next date, because apparently, Schuh, you just keep running out of judges to hear cases. So I guess I'm stuck with it. And so my next date would be August 30th. I'm sorry. For a prelim? Oh, I am. I can actually, because I'm covering for Judge Wash, I can do the 23rd or the 30th, whichever works for the parties.
I will be out of town on the 23rd at a wedding, so it'd have to be the 30th, Your Honor.
All right.
Is Deputy Rabb, are you available on the 30th?
Sure he is. He's working all the time. No,
Okay.
I don't know. He is. We can't hear you, Deputy. For whatever reason. You're unmuted, but maybe you're not connected to audio.
Is the audio on?
Well, he does that. Jeremy, if I put it out to that date, are you gonna promise me you'll talk with Mr. Collins? You don't have to agree, but you need to listen to each other.
Jeremy, you promised me
I've been in jail since the 18th.
Promise me you'll behave yourself.
Okay, I didn't ask that.
Yes,
I'm
yes, I will.
a different thing.
Yes, yes, I will, sir.
So if I put it out to the 30th, you're not gonna come back here and I'm not gonna hear all this mess that I'm hearing today.
No, sir.
Now, Mr. Schuh, so that we're clear, you know what I'll do if somebody doesn't tell me the truth. So I'm gonna take you at your word that you're going, you know how I am, right?
Yes, sir. I'm the same way, and I appreciate the truthfulness.
No, we're not the same. Don't flatter yourself.
I appreciate the hard truth, just like the court does.
Pardon? What'd you say?
I said I appreciate the harsh truth, just like the court does.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
So, and
That's
deputy.
just
would
the
you
only
be
thing you
available
can
on the
say
30th?
when it's a dude.
Yes, Your Honor. Whatever the court needs, I can try to work that on my schedule.
Alrighty, thank you, sir. Okay, so what I'm going to do is adjourn this preliminary examination out. I'll adjourn it then to August 30th, 2022. That I set it at 9. That is before me.
Why is he always making a
It's
face like
likely
something
that it will
smells
go in the
bad?
afternoon, however, for your scheduling, because it's a Zoom and that's what we typically will hold those in the afternoon.
You're
Okay,
saying that a Schuh's doing that?
Thank you, Your Honor.
and bond will continue. I
Yeah,
think it's probably better this
he's
way.
always
That
making
way
a
maybe
face
the
like
other
there's
matter
shit
can
right on his upper
do
lip.
whatever it's gonna do.
Nawson, can you
and
pause,
then we'll
please?
deal with it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
Body language experts say that when you make that face, it's because you're disgusted with something.
Yeah,
So
because you're trying to cover up your nostrils with your upper lip.
Yeah, it's like a subconscious trying to cover up your nostrils. Exactly. I think it's, and I'm hypothesizing here, but I believe it's because he's like disgusted with this whole process because he feels like he's not being treated fairly. Just like Daryl, it's like he just doesn't understand the legal process so much. He has such a little respect for the system because he thinks that he's, they're fucking him over, they're railroading him.
Right, and he continues to be ignorant because he thinks that he's the most knowledgeable person out of all
Yeah,
of them.
that's a common narcissist thing too, thinking you're the smartest person in the room.
Yes.
It's definitely Daryl. I mean, anybody who discharges their attorneys, I think, is symptomatic of that. I'm smarter than the people who are professional at this. I'm smarter than them. I can do a better job than them.
Why not accept free help from somebody that is inclined to be genuine and sincere, and it doesn't cost you anything?
Well, in the Daryl Brooks case, he wasn't entitled to assistance of counsel.
Well, I mean, I just mean the whole idea of a public defender,
Oh, yeah.
That's such a wonderful thing we have in our judicial system.
I think it really boils down to the fact that they're not allowed to, speak or participate. They're only allowed to talk when spoken to or allowed, and that's infuriating for them. It's like the part of the process they probably hate the most is they have to play within the rules of the court system. So they think that when they're their own attorney, they can just spout off whenever they want to, which really isn't accurate. We see how much it clashes with the standard protocol of things, both here and with Brooks.
Yeah, it does not often work out.
Yeah.
He should have been held in contempt at the very beginning.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Honor.
All right.
Sir,
Thank you, folks. Jeremy, behave.
I've been trying. I've been doing my best.
The only answer to that is what?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you guys on the 30th.
See you this afternoon.
Again, Simpson saves him from himself.
So this one's ready to go.
Oh my God.
All right. Court does.
Yes, Jessica's back.
Yeah, the ice queen.
Court does call the case of the people state of Michigan versus Jeremy Schuh.
She looks
Jessica
like a
Blanchard, we have
model.
people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
bad
Stuart Collis
bitch.
on behalf of the Mr. Schuh.
Date and time set.
Collis?
Oh.
This guy does
I
not
was
look
gonna ask for a break off
qualified
room real quick.
With.
You and Mr.
to
Collins.
go up against her, is what I was trying to say.
Bench conference. All right, very good. That's what we'll do. We'll be back shortly, Mr. Schuh.
All right. No prosecuting. Case number 2 is.
All right, we're back on the record. There's been a brief bench conference in the case on the Schuh matter. So, Miss Blanche.
Judge, this is set for date and time set for a preliminary examination in this manner. We cannot proceed to an exam at this time.
All right. Mr. Collis, are you moving to dismiss? You're muted, Mr. Collis.
I'm sorry, I moved to dismiss.
All right. This case is dismissed, and that's on the motion of the defendant. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think they
Thank you very much,
couldn't get the pause, please.
Jeremy?
I think they couldn't get the girlfriend to cooperate enough to like move forward with this, which is why it's being dismissed.
Oh, that's
my-
too bad.
My assumption, yeah.
That's too bad.
Jeremy, unmute yourself.
Oh,
Oh,
try again.
went back.
You remuted
Jeremy?
me, Justin.
So unmute it.
I did unmute
Okay,
it, Justin.
Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
it's all done. You take
Yes.
care of yourself. And
Yes, sir.
And be smart.
Yes, sir.
Don't quit doing the stupid stuff.
Yes,
You hear
sir.
me?
I appreciate it. And
Because
hopefully,
don't come back here. What?
No, sir. Hopefully, you'll see me getting married very soon.
No,
Oh,
that's kind of
Jesus.
scary. But all right.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
It's been keeping me. What is the word for it? Settled. I need to settle down. I have a family and do what I need to do. I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 on the 13th. So hopefully get married before my birthday.
You need to get
So,
punched in the
little
face.
Jeremy Shoes potentially running around.
Oh,
Even
My fiance is saying little Jennifer's.
Dear
That's
Lord.
probably going to be a better bet. All right.
Have a good day, sir.
Jeremy,
God bless
take
you.
care. All right, you too.
I'd say
Thanks,
no
guys.
kids would be the better
Thank you,
bet.
Judge.
Good talking again, Jessica.
14A stands adjourned. Woo-hoo. Get me.
oh no.
Numbers 42 and 43, People versus Jeremy Schuh, 19378 FH 18855.
He's back.
Jessica Blanche, appearing on behalf of people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Stuart Collis on behalf of Mr. Schuh. May we approach, Your Honor?
Good afternoon.
They always
Mr.
have
Schuh,
to
can you hear
approach.
us?
It's like,
Yes,
I don't
sir,
want you
can.
hearing
How
what
are
I'm
you?
saying.
I'm okay. Mr. Collis, have you had a chance to review the email from probation requesting additional counts be added?
I have received that this morning. I tried to meet with Mr. Schuh about it at the jail, but apparently he is in observation, so I was not permitted to see him today. So I have not reviewed it with my client.
So it sounds like we probably need to adjourn this because there's a number of them and you're going to need to go over them, correct?
I would ask that it not be adjourned, sir.
What? I'm sorry, Mr.
Well, as Mr. Schuh, I got to tell you, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 added counts being proposed, and you haven't had a chance to go over those with your
Oh my
lawyer.
God.
So I don't know how else we would approach this.
How else we can approach it, sir? May I speak, Your Honor?
Sure.
And
Why is his forehead so small?
Pursuant to People versus Glass and People versus Vanderpool, the probationary period expired.
Washtenaw
as of
County
June
Jail.
2022. the court is without jurisdiction to hear any of the new added
Oh,
counts
here we
because the
go.
probation order ended June 5th, 2022, sir. The probation did not have a hearing pursuant to MCL 771.5 and 771.6 prior to the probationary period ending, and the probationary order was not amended pursuant to People versus Glass 288 Mish App 399 and People versus Vanderpool 505 Mish 391. Probation order was not amended to include any of the conduct that occurred after June 5th, 2022.
So I appreciate that you are able to cite those cases, but typically that would come to the court on a motion. So I wouldn't just sort of off the cuff make a decision based on you or your lawyer, citing case law to me. So do you want to ask Mr. Collis to file a motion to dismiss all of this based on the grounds that you just cited?
Yes, I would also request that the court give me a personal recognizance bond pursuant to MCR 6445C, because the people cannot have the probationary hearing within the 14-day period that's allocated.
Can you pause for a second?
About to address bond.
Awesome.
He did. I would say that one of the main requirements for being released on your own personal recognizance is having to prove that you can say personal recognizance. Because he said recognizance. If you can't say it, you're not gonna get it. I'm sorry.
It's a pretty low bar for entry that he is not capable of meeting.
No.
I gotta give him credit though. Like I said in my little text thing, he's like, it's not a bad argument. Like, he was off probation. For them to go back and retroactively charge him seems unfair, but I'm sure they're doing everything legally,
Your Honor, as my client indicated, originally the probation violations in this case, while there were some technical violations that were cited prior to the proposed amendments that had been proposed by probation, were centered around two cases that Mr. Schuh had in 1484 and a felony charge.
Mr. Collis, I'm not going to decide this today.
Okay.
So unless you are saying to me, hey, Judge, I'm ready to file a motion, I'm happy to have you say that to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to have your client cite cases and you tell me procedure that's going to urge me to make a decision on this. So if you'd like to, I'm happy to have you file a motion, and I'm happy to give you as short or long as you need. If you want to hear this next week, we can, but I'm just saying we're not going to decide it today.
I would ask, I'll just, if we could have this adjourned, and I'll file a motion for the 28th as well. That would be fine.
So how far out should we adjourn it?
2 weeks, Your Honor. That's what I was asking.
What's that?
What was that noise?
Okay. So that's September 28th at 1:30. Mr. Schuh kind of spoke over you and made a bond modification request.
That's what I was starting to argue, Your Honor. I wasn't talking about the other motion.
Is someone just going ham at the jail?
Don't give me the lengthy history of the case. I'm pretty familiar with it. So why would I release him today?
Very
on
well,
PR?
Your Honor. Because the primary violations, which were a new felony charge and a misdemeanor charge, were dismissed. Those cases did not go forward. The new allegations that are made here have to do apparently with Mr. Schuh's disappointment at not being immediately released because he thought that he was going to be released after the felony and misdemeanor case. I think that he's less of a threat to society outside than he is somewhat inside the facility. All these crimes that he's had in the past are basically petty thefts and the like. He's non-assaultive, other than, you know, the alleged incident with his girlfriend. So I would ask that we reduce to either a PR bond or some bond with a small 10% so that Mr. Schuh can make that. He is in.
You pause.
Or possibly.
Sorry, I was in the other room. The banging in the background, I'm pretty sure is somebody that's in like the Schuh or whatever they call it, like when you're in the cell by yourself and they're like banging to be obnoxious. I've heard from a lot of people that have been in jail. It's like impossible for them to sleep because people are constantly screaming and banging things. It's like, I don't understand it, but it's like a symptom of being in jail. They just want to be obnoxious.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I've also heard that.
And regarding his lawyer's argument about him more of a danger inside than outside, I don't know.
That made no fucking sense.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the thing you want to be saying to get your client bond. It's like, it's basically saying like, I know my client has been raising hell while in custody, but that's gonna stop once he's released. I promise. Like, okay, I doubt that, but I gotcha.
I know this statement makes my oh my god, I just had a brain fart. I know the statement makes him seem like he's holding the court hostage, but Your Honor, he's just holding the jail hostage. So just let him go. Just let him out. It'll be great.
What he should be saying is something to the effect of, my client, like, it doesn't understand the system enough that the longer he's involved in these hearings, the more charges are gonna like be racked up. But that really doesn't have much to do with him being in jail.
No, it just shows that he won't shut his mouth in court or in his day-to-day life, which is why he keeps ending up in cuffs.
Yeah. The last thing he should be doing is admitting anything onto the evidence that he's like misbehaving, as much as we know it already. This judge probably hasn't seen the other stuff, you know. This is probably just his case that's in front of him.
So that would help.
Okay.
Less of a
Happy
threat
to hear
outside
from
than
Ms.
he is
Blanche
inside.
and or Agent Benetti, either or both.
Yeah, there's the
Judge, he
for
continues to
doubt.
violate his probation. He has numerous new violations. He has numerous prior violations. And just because 2 cases got dismissed because the victim was uncooperative doesn't mean that people can't proceed on them for probation violation. I'm asking you to have him stay in custody based on his behavior and his continued behavior. If you want to release him to some mental health facility where he's inpatient and he's away from people, I'm fine with that. But he needs to stay in custody, Your Honor, based on everything that he's done.
Pause, please.
Hell yeah.
There's the old saying of the state will get you no matter what. Like, there's a case out there, I forget exactly what it's for, but some millionaire corporate head got acquitted of, I forget exactly what the charges were, but it was a really public trial. And he ended up getting off. Like, they got him off on whatever the charges were. And then they ended up, like, convicting him of tax charges, like, a month later. Like, if the state wants you, they're gonna get you. They will find a way.
Anything to add to that, Agent Benetti?
No, Your Honor, only just clarification that there are only 2 additional counts that have not been already placed on the record. I did email Mr. Collis this morning and copied your staff as well as Ms. Blanche and added just the prior violations for clarity purposes.
You sort of summarized it in the 2 new ones, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I counted them all. I got that. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 2 at the top are the only
so many they're losing
that
track.
we're requesting, or I'm sorry, violations that we are requesting be added at this time. Those are still being looked at by the sheriff's office. It's my understanding that they are going to request new felony charges. So we would just ask for an adjournment in order to track that.
All right. Mr. Schuh, you have your hand up. You wish to speak?
Yes, I do, sir. Sir, I would be willing. My uncles both have health issues. I would be willing to submit.
Oh no!
I am no threat outside of the jail.
Pause, please. I think this worked for some judge somewhere where he was like, I have to take care of my uncles. And they're like, oh, we better get you home then. Those uncles need your help. He's just like his script for trying to get bond is, oh, my poor uncles.
What proof do we have that these uncles even exist or can testify or back him up that he's their caregiver?
I still maintain the theory that he's like a couch jumper, and these
100%.
and like that. I've noticed that druggies will do that. Like they call people uncles or aunts who aren't really uncles or aunts.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
just-
because they like are preying upon their sympathies. Yeah.
I do not have no pending cases. The only thing that is holding me currently is this probation violation. My probation.
That's
has
exactly
been
right.
over
You do not have
since
no
June
pending
5th,
cases, correct?
2022, sir. I almost completed probation. The only thing that violated my probation was the allegation of domestic.
Yeah, it gets so close to the finish line and then trips.
My fiance, I am currently under an order not to be in contact with my fiance. I cannot.
Still not married,
I'm no
huh?
threat in the jail. I will submit to a tether. I'll submit to community corrections. My mother needs me because of my uncles having health issues. My mother is 63 years old. She cannot take care of my uncles. My one uncle has severe cerebral palsy, lives in Wayne County. I would be happy to submit to a tether. I'll submit to community corrections, drug testing, whatever the court asks. I am no threat to anybody outside of the jail. None of my crimes are violent. No crime I have been on probation for, no crime I've had in my history is violent. I would be willing to submit to whatever the court requests pursuant to the MCR subsection 3.
But wasn't I thought you guys said he got charged with domestic violence. That's violent, right?
Oh yeah.
Or was he acquitted?
Wait.
Maybe that was that the main case that was
Yeah.
dismissed?
Yes, it was. But
because of lack of victim cooperation.
Look at his
you're
record.
Right.
He's totally full of shit. Home invasion in the 3rd degree twice. Breaking and entering. Like, I guess they're technically not. He's got firearms charges. What is he talking about?
Home invasion is absolutely. Well, it depends on when this was. Oh well. Home invasion.
Several firearms charges. This dude is violent.
September 2013, home invasion in the 3rd degree.
Yeah, plus breaking and entering. Breaking upon itself is a violent act.
Yeah. He was sentenced. He has 2 charges of home invasion in the 3rd degree, and he was sentenced for 5 years.
Breaking and entering vehicle. Breaking and entering vehicle.
Yeah.
Another breaking and entering vehicle. 7/6/2018. Breaking and entering vehicle. What's the second one? They charged him 3 times for it. How does that work? Whatever. Weapons violation 1/27/2003. Okay, that was a while ago, but still.
Yeah.
Breaking and entering 2/7/2018. Breaking and entering 7/6/2008. Oh, so he broke in a car and a house and then unlawfully drove away. He stole a car to get away.
How much you want to bet that could have very easily been his mother's property? And I'm not making a DB joke, but I see the correlation there. I mean, his mom is 60. He's been a manipulator and a narcissist his whole life. I wouldn't be surprised if he's abusive to her as well.
Yeah.
Actually entitled to a PR bond.
What a meanie.
So that's
Okay, well, the problem is that while I appreciate everyone has family situations, sir, you know, and you're not guilty of any of these violations yet because we haven't had a hearing yet. But I do get to look at the allegations and make a decision on bond based on that. And all of these allegations, or at least a fair number of them, do involve threats of physical violence. I know that you're not, this is not a conviction, but it's alleged that you said to a police officer, I should punch you in the face right now. I'm going to get you when I get out.
Okay, yeah. So he's fucking raising Cain in jail.
I guess.
May I refute that, sir?
It doesn't matter. I'm not saying you're guilty of it, But the fact of the matter is they're allegations, and you're telling me you need to help your mom. Well, if you really need to help your mom, if you didn't say those things, then there's a huge conspiracy. But if you said something that could be construed as a threat, that's not helping your mom.
Yeah,
So
well said, Judge.
I had a seizure. I came to with the officer in my cell. cleaning
Oh,
up
come
blood
on, bro.
Oh,
after I
dude.
had a seizure when they did not call medical staff.
I had a
referral
seizure
to
as an
neurology
excuse for
for
why
my
you were
spinal
threatening him.
issues.
Come
I
on.
still haven't seen neurology in 3 months, sir.
Okay, well, we're gonna go out 2 weeks and maybe you'll be out on your motion. So I'm gonna remand you for the hearing 2 weeks from today.
Oh, no.
Mr. Collis is gonna file a
14
motion.
days already, sir.
Okay, well, we're gonna continue until the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Number 50, People versus Charles Thrower Jr.,
This is
22452
straight
FH.
bullshit, man. Like, you're fucking playing games with me.
Look at the ice queen smiling.
Keep talking, Mr. Schuh, you're on the record.
I know I'm on the record and you're on the record, man. I haven't done nothing. I'm being
That's true.
retaliated against clearly, and I don't understand. I haven't even seen my attorney. I don't get what, like, under the MCR, you have to let me go. I haven't done nothing.
You have to
Get him off the screen.
0.445C.
Look at Jessica laughing at
Under
him.
MCL 771.4 through 6, my
Let me
probation
go.
has been up. People versus Vanderpool.
Judge, I think his attorney left the Zoom. Can we mute him until his attorney comes back, or can we pass him to another matter?
Under
Because
People versus Vanderpool, 505, this is the same lady.
I mean, we're not gonna pass it, so we can.
Can you just
terminate
mute
it.
him and call the next case then? Because Mr. Collis isn't even in the courtroom.
Wow, opposing counsel is like arguing for him.
Number 50,
Good on
People
her.
versus
She wants
Charles
to
Thrower
play
Jr.,
fair.
22452 FH.
She's clearly retaliated against me.
He
Problem
unmuted
is, Ms.
himself.
Blanche, we can't permanently mute. Big tell there. It's only a temporary mute.
She's like, all right, let him hang himself.
sorry,
Fuck
what
it, I
case is
tried.
this?
Goldstein,
I
your
didn't-
appearance.
David I.
Just-
Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Mute me anyway.
See what
I
I
didn't
mean?
hear the case. I didn't hear the case you called.
Charles Thrower.
It's People versus Thrower.
Okay.
Jessica Blanche.
22-452 FH.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jessica Blanche appearing on behalf of People.
Pause, please.
Oh my god, what a
Can you imagine?
moron.
Can you imagine if they just kept up with court for like the rest of the day with him just periodically interrupting, yelling at them? It's so fucking funny.
That's like if you've ever worked in retail and the person that you just checked out has their receipt and their merchandise, and like you have tried every conversation closer you can on them, and they're just standing off to the side while you're checking out the next person trying to have a conversation with you, and you're like, oh my god, it's over, get out of here, man.
It reminds me of people you're like on the phone with and you're like trying to use the polite social cues to hang up, like, all right then. Okay, well, good talking to you. And they just like keep going.
It's about dinner time. I think I'm gonna just get headed down the old dusty trail.
Yeah. Okay, well, I gotta take my dogs out. So, okay, you're still going. Okay.
Recall number 26 and 27, People versus Jeremy Schuh, 18855 FH, 19378 FH.
Jessica Blanche appearing on behalf of
Pause. Look at the guy in the middle. It's like his dad.
It is. Oh, dark circles and all.
Yeah, it's like he's evolved. It's like the next stage of his evolution chart.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's like this is Jeremy Schuh 10 years from now.
They both have Roblox heads. They both have the swirl on the top. They
It's
both
Jeremy-
have the like weirdly straight, weirdly spaced eyebrows.
It's Jeremy like remote zooming in from the future.
Yeah, it's perfect. Wow.
They can argue with each other. It's perfect.
It's magical, man. I love it.
Good morning, good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Stuart Collis on behalf of Mr. Schuh. May we approach briefly, Your Honor?
Executive
time.
session.
Okay.
Every
We are
time they
back
need
on
to
the
approach
record,
the bench.
People versus Jeremy Schuh, case number 18855FH, 19378FH.
I would kill to be a
Record should
fly on the
reflect a
wall in
bench
those
conference
bench
with
those
counsel and
bench
probation to
conferences.
talk about possibilities and dismissal of counts in the violation of probation allegations.
They're definitely like shit talking him in those
discussion, we
meetings.
talked about what our different perspectives and options are. Both counsel as well as probation were very clear about that. So I think what we're going to do is have Mr. Collis, do you want to highlight for me what's in your motion? I'll have Ms. Blanche response. I've had a chance to review it. I'll rule on the motion and then we'll proceed with what's next. Okay?
All right, thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, as I indicated in my motion, it's our position that any probation violations would have to be resolved during the probationary term. Probation in this case would have ended on July 6, 2022. A number of the violations, especially the ones that probation now seeks to add, were after that time and date. And we believe the Vanderpool case supports that proposition that those violations of probations had to be resolved within the term of probation. Now, I appreciate that there are some issues that were from before then, but again, I think those had to be resolved timely, and they were not. As we've indicated in this at the bench, in Mr. Schuh's case, he's already served more than the time on the sentence in jail, so he's not eligible to go back to jail on anything. Consequently, Your Honor, we're asking that the probation violations in this particular case be dismissed pursuant to the Vanderpool case, and if not, release Mr. Schuh out on bond to address these issues, and also to remove the no contact order with Donna Uton, so that this case can be again heard at a date and time.
All right, Ms. Blanche?
Although the maximum jail sentence has been served, the maximum prison sentence hasn't. So there is an eligibility for him to go to prison based off these violations. He has not served the maximum amount of time on probation for a felony, which is 5 years. The Vanderpool case does not even apply in this case, because in Vanderpool, they actually filed the probation violation after probation had already expired. This was filed in March, the first violation. And if you looked at People versus Ritter, which is actually the case that is at issue here.
This is why it's a bad idea to spout off about your case without talking to your attorney. She knew that this was coming, and the lawyer did a much better job of arguing these points than Schuh did. But because he omitted that they were going to go for this argument on the record during the last hearing, she's come primed and ready to refute it. Like, she's got the bullet loaded in the chamber to shoot this down.
Yeah, true. Good point.
It says that probation can tack on probationary charges if the first violation was filed prior to the end of probationary term. His maximum, as I said, is 5 years for probation under a felony. So I believe that we are correct here as far as it stands, and we ask you to deny his motion.
All right, what about if I were to deny the motion, what's your response on bond?
Judge, I would like him to stay in based on continued conduct. He has 2 R&Os that he just committed while he was in jail against officers. He continues to violate court orders. In fact, last time he was here 2 weeks ago, he's swearing on the record. I don't believe he's shown to the court that he can file any rules. And in fact, when it comes to the no contact order, I mean, I don't even know why that's being addressed, because he continues to contact her while he's in jail. He contacted her yesterday. So
God damn, she's good.
He keeps violating bond and court orders.
Wow. Yeah, she's amazing.
Okay.
You pause, please.
Agent Benetti,
Wow.
any comment?
This lawyer, Collis, is getting bodied by Jessica right now.
Yeah.
He's embarrassed. Did you see him? He was uncomfortable with how quickly and how swiftly she just like debunked their entire argument, like in 30 seconds. I mean, again, she came prepared,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
just even the way she delivered it was like surgical. I would not want to ever be on the receiving end of a Jessica Blanche case. Fuck, man.
No, she's incredible. She's incredibly good. Wow.
Get
And
wrecked, too.
yeah, he got bodied for real. No
Imagine
shot.
him.
He's getting out
Sorry
today.
sorry to interrupt you, but imagine if
No, you're good.
imagine if he was trying to defend himself against
Oh.
her. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I would pay money. That would be fucking hilarious. Look how Collins has now shrunk down into himself. He's like shrunken down into the upper portion of his back. He's brought his shoulders are closer together over his chest, almost like folded over. His neck is now like down in
Like
his
I said,
shirt.
He's flushed in the face, like he's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, see how red his face is?
Look at that smile he's got, like, oh fuck.
Yeah, she got me.
Fuck, dude, this is so funny.
Get wrecked, noob.
Comment before I make a decision on the motion.
Or leave it to the court.
Okay. I've had an opportunity to review the motion filed by Mr. Collis. I reviewed the response filed by Ms.
He's
Blanche.
laughing.
At this time,
He
as far
hates
as the
him.
motion to discharge the defendant from probation, I do find that the Ritter case is
Look at him.
applicable
He's
in
like,
this matter.
yes, fuck you. He hates his own client.
Yeah, I think he is enjoying seeing him get his ass handed to him right now.
Yeah, it's very clear he hates this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Jeremy Schuh. More like Jeremy Pooh.
Yeah.
Well, we heard on the record, right, that like he was swearing at him and hanging up on him. Like, I imagine he's just being a complete terror to this guy. And especially how quickly he bailed out of that last hearing. Like, he had his finger on the leave hearing button, like, the entire time.
Wasn't that the same attorney or defender, I guess, that was like, where he was like, I don't agree with him and I think there's a conflict of interest because he told me that he thought I was guilty.
Yeah, he's trying to get off the case, but the judge won't let him.
It's like his attorney stepped into the ring and just threw his gloves down and leaned forward, the goofy smile on his face. Dong!
Gorsh.
And that I will deny the motion to discharge at this time. As to the question of relief or modification of his bond to a PR, I am going to also acknowledge that
He's
my
covering up
own
a smile.
view of Mr. Schuh on the
Yeah, he
record at
is.
the last hearing was sufficient for me to have concern enough that I'm not sure that PR is the right response here. So the other piece of this is that what we did discuss in the bench conference was the concept that Mr. Schuh, and this was placed on the record before we went into the bench conference, I think, that Mr. Schuh potentially might plead guilty to technical violations and have the court move to sentence, but that he was not willing to plead guilty to any non-technical violations. And so I am assuming that is your position, Mr. Collis, on behalf of your client. So I think what we need to do is set a violation of probation hearing with all possible charges. And then if he's found not guilty, then he's found not guilty and we're done here. If he's found guilty only of technical violations, I think we are likely done here as well, because I think we know what the outcome there is. If he is found
Put your
guilty
hand
of
down, it's not math
applicable
class.
non-technical violations,
Yeah, and go through your
then we would
attorney.
theoretically move to some sort of
Stop
sentence on that.
talking.
And I would entertain both probation as well as the prosecutors and the defense's input into that before we were to proceed. So I think that's where we are. So Mr. Schuh, you are welcome to ask a question, but I just want you to know that we're on the record and you know that. And so what is it? What can I do for you?
My question, sir, is one, like I spoke to Mr. Collins.
Shoe in his mouth.
I do have, and Ms. Benetti is well aware, I do have mental health issues. My
Oh,
outburst
God.
is,
fuck
I'm on
off.
medication for it. I apologize. I'm trying to deal with it as best as I can.
What are you taking?
I just spoke
What are
to
you
mental
taking?
health
Douchebag
today
pills?
about staying medicated once I get out.
Nawson, can you pause? I am so sick of hearing this. Like, I'm sorry, but that is a fucking cop-out. People
Yeah, it
who
is.
genuinely say mean or despicable things because of their mental illnesses don't know they're saying it because of their mental illness. Like, anybody who uses mental
Yeah.
illness as an excuse for being an asshole is deflecting, just plain and simple. You know,
Yeah, I agree
it
with you. I mean, I
Go
have
ahead.
plenty of obstacles, mental health obstacles that I face on a daily basis, and yet I know better than to. I know that I'm wrong when I speak out of turn or speak disrespectfully to somebody, and I admit when I'm wrong and don't say, "Oh, it was, I'm autistic." But for this guy to just use it as a cop out, it's just, it's gross, man.
So you're like a prime example, right? Like, just because somebody is struggling with a mental health illness does not
Yeah.
mean necessarily that they are a bad person. Like,
No, not at all.
it's so fucking. It took me a long time to realize that desertion too. That like, you can't just immediately sympathize with someone when they immediately play the mental health card. Like, as much as I want to feel sympathy for somebody that's struggling with mental health or otherwise, like, most of us aren't trained or intimately familiar with like the struggles those people face. So it's like we just defer to, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't understand. But like you said, there are tons of rational, upstanding, like, dare I say, compassionate and loving people out there who struggle with mental health. And like them running around saying like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you, like whether or not you have like borderline personality, for example, your actions may certainly be a result of said disease, but like the
Yes.
overlying majority is it's not from the disease. It's rather just that you're a fucking dick.
Right, and I also think that like when he says stuff like that, it's almost like he's trying to. There's cognitive dissonance there, right? Because on
Yeah,
one
it's
hand,
like they're giving themselves the permission to speak out and be mean because they have the mental illness. Like,
he wants you to believe that he's a good guy, and that the only reason he says stuff like that is because he has a mental illness. When that's just, I mean, just because you have a mental, like you said, just because you have a mental illness and you struggle with those things, does not mean that you're a bad person. But it can mean that, like, okay, you have mental health issues, but you're also a bad person. Like, two things can be true. It's not
yeah.
mutually
Both things can be true,
exclusive.
yeah. Very well
Right.
said. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Thank you.
everybody around them their whole entire life has been like, oh, don't mean it. Jeremy's got, X mental health disease. He doesn't mean it. Don't take it personally. It's like a get out of jail free card for him. Like, why try and correct the inappropriate behavior if everybody around you is justifying it for you? So it's like his entire life, he's never had to try and work on being a good person because he just defers to, oh, well, I'm I mental health issues, or, oh, I'm a drug addict, not my fault. Why do I need to work on myself?
It's like with Courtney and Bob's Burgers. I don't know if you watch that show, but like every
No, I
time that
haven't.
she acts like a little asshole, well, somebody in your audience will. Every time she acts like a little asshole, her friends are like, "It's because she has a congenital heart. She has a congenital heart condition."
That's fucking funny.
It doesn't matter what she does. If she's like kicking the back of your seat, spilling a drink on you. I have a congenital heart disease. I can't talk. Sorry, it's been like 2 hours. But
No,
you
you're
understand
good.
what I'm saying.
Alright, guys, that's where we're going to leave it for this one. Really hope you liked it. This was a lot of fun recording this with Nawson and Sprinklecakes. They're both really good people. I suggest you check out their respective YouTube channels. Of course, their info will be down in the description just like last time. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys thought about Jeremy Schuh. He's so crazy. But we'll have part 3. Hopefully be the last part. Hoping to record that this week. So that should be up relatively soon. Keep your eyes open for that. We have another Case Watch episode coming shortly. And I plan on making another solo Brooks video this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that stuff. And for now, we'll say goodbye. Not goodbye. I'll see you soon. How about that? We'll see you soon. Come back and check out on me. See how Beef Man's doing for me, okay? And follow me on Instagram too, please. I really appreciate it, okay, guys? All right. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks again. Bye.